I mean, the prosecutor's right. This case is weird, 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 weird. You got any explanation for me about what you're doing? Why you got surgical gloves on?
No, see, we had
The amount that's recommended, I think, is fair. I don't know exactly what's going on out there.
The judge called this case weird, 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 and for good reason. What you just saw in that preview, the surgical gloves and the loaded gun, isn't even the strangest part of this midnight encounter. Meet Mr. Johnson, a 33-year-old Amazon driver with a C-deal license and a bright future. But at 4 a.m, police found him roaming a hotel lobby wearing blue surgical gloves. He claims he was just prepping for work, but his story is riddled with contradictions. Why did he initially deny having those gloves? And why would an innocent man hide a loaded handgun in a public parking lot? With 9 years of potential prison time hanging over his head, his life is at a breaking point. To understand the courtroom psychology and the specific tactics that catch a lie in real time, hit subscribe. Let's see how this strange morning unfolded in court.
All right, this is People v. Kadarius Johnson. It's file 25-7084FH. Counsel, you want to state your appearances, please?
Secretary, go ahead and turn across to you.
And Fred Filippa here with Mr. Johnson.
All right, we're here for sentencing on a charge of carrying a concealed weapon, a 5-year statutory maximum, and tampering with evidence, a 4-year maximum, guideline range of 0 to 9 months. And Mr. Filippa, have you had a chance to review the report and recommendations with your client?
I've done both and no objections.
Okay. And Ms. Goodrich, any additions, corrections, or scoring challenges?
No, Your Honor.
Go ahead with any allocution on behalf of your client.
Thank you, Your Honor. Firstly, I did see Mr. Johnson get out of the car. His lady friend had to be back to her work in Milwaukee area. That's where Mr. Johnson's been living for past several months. He's been employed there as an Amazon delivery driver, and he's looking forward to continuing that sort of delivery training or delivery work, either as a long haul trucker using his CDL. I'm not sure where he wants to relocate to from Milwaukee, whether returning down south to where he has family, or where he can find the work. I can appreciate how, or I can only imagine how difficult it is to have to come from Milwaukee to here to stand for sentencing on a matter that he took place in, that he is taking responsibility for. We note that the sentencing recommendation is 30 days incarceration, credit for 1, with various fines. Mr. Johnson certainly would appreciate if there could be less jail time than that. Well, I think under the circumstances, it's objectively reasonable. But Mr. Johnson is in an intermediate sanction with the presumptive no incarceration. This was not a violent offense, although it does involve a weapon, which I'm assuming is being forfeited pursuant to statute through all of this. And Mr. Johnson has no attachment to that pistol in any way. He is a hard worker. He's found employment. He's been very proud of that in his conversations with me, and I think he will return to that. Mr. Johnson, is there anything you want to tell the judge before he passes the sentence? If there is, you just stand up.
I'm sorry to be here today before you, Your Honor. I'm very sorry for a senseless mistake I made. I knew what I knew better. I was already on the path with my life together. You know, I was pre-HVAC in school. With the last job I was doing, I was training pre-HVAC for that job, which is BLC, which is the X pure air. I don't know if you know about the company or not. They clean up the air conditioning units on top of Walmarts and stuff like that, you know. But and I also had, before I got that job, I had just recently got my CDL from school, from a trade school, community college down called Mohawk. And I really wanted to start my career back off, you know, when I get out, and you know, just be a better guy, be a better man.
All right, thank you, sir. Ms. Goodrich, any recommendations from the people?
Yes, Your Honor. Thank you. We're here because on September 2nd of 2025 at approximately 3:47 a.m., the defendant entered a hotel lobby of Mackinac City stating someone was following him and he was wearing blue surgical gloves. The defendant was on his hands. The defendant left and law enforcement found him riding a bicycle. He had told law enforcement at that time that some guy was being weird and tried to rush him. He admitted to law enforcement to stealing the bike. and originally denied wearing the surgical gloves and then admitted to throwing them away. The defendant also denied having a Glock handgun and then admitted to also throwing that away. Law enforcement was able to locate the gun along with a folding knife and the surgical gloves. When they found the gun, it was loaded with a round in the chamber. Defendant claimed to have bought the handgun 2 days earlier, but did not know the person. The defendant is 33 years old. He has 1 felony and 2 misdemeanors. He's been in jail once, on probation twice. He still has pending matters in Mississippi. As stated, he's employed as a driver with a CDL for Amazon. This is an unusual situation, which only can lead law enforcement to guessing about what actually was happening that night. We don't know, or probably will never know what was happening that night, but it could have, sounds like, been even more serious than what it was. I do agree with the PSI recommendation for 30 days jail and no probation.
Right, thank you. Mr. Johnson, will you please stand for the court sentence? I mean, the prosecutor's right. This case is weird. You got any explanation for me about what you're doing at 3 in the morning, walking around with a loaded handgun, wearing gloves?
It started off, we normally go to work like early this morning, like 4:35, 5 o'clock we head out. I just so had to get up and be outside arguing on the phone with my girlfriend. Some guy walked up at me, he asked for a lighter first, for a cigarette.
So why you got surgical gloves on?
No, see, we have the latex gloves and we had the rubber, like construction gloves for like hot, like when we deal with the pressure washing machines that we're dealing with. Yeah, like it would either be hot or like the temperature wise. And make his hands real dirty. It's pretty much, I was working on my machine before I get ready to go work. It's pretty prep. That's all I was doing, prep.
And you were in Mackinac City for work?
Yeah. We done it.
Right.
I say 3, 4 days, we can get ready to make one.
All right. Well, I mean, Mr. Johnson is a Wisconsin resident. He is employed. He doesn't have a remarkable criminal record. The guideline range 0 to 9 months would call for an intermediate sanction, which would include no jail at all unless there's some reasonable grounds for incarceration. I think there is at least some measure of that here, particularly the fact that I think trying to avoid getting in trouble, he had discarded the handgun in a parking lot, and he was less than cooperative about helping the police locate precisely where that was. And that's, that's a tragedy just waiting to happen for a loaded gun like that just to be laying around in a parking lot. So I do think the public safety risk does call for some incarceration. The amount that's recommended, I think, is fair. I don't know exactly what's going on out there, but in any event, I'll follow the recommendations here for crime victims assessment of $130, court costs $350. You have to comply with DNA testing and pay a $6 fee, $136 in state costs. The weapon, any weapon that was seized, to be forfeited to the agency that seized it. And I'll order Mr. Johnson to serve 30 days in the Sheboygan County Jail, credit for 1 day previously served. I'm not going to place you on probation, so once you're done with your time, then you're released from the jail. You can go about your life. And but you got to set up a payment plan to take care of those fines and costs. And if you wanted to appeal, you can do so by filing an application. If you wanted a lawyer, you'd have to ask me within 6 months. We're going to hand you a piece of paper about the appeal process, ask you to initial 1 copy for me. The other one's for you to fill out if you want to take an appeal. Any questions for me, Mr. Johnson?
No, sir.
Okay, good luck.
While he's incarcerated, would he be able to participate in any community service 511?
Yeah, I don't think his sentence is long enough to really warrant any of that. I don't approve for the work crew for felony sentencings. And I think the sentence is just too short to benefit from trustee or from programming.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, I could make you a trustee, but I'd have to give you like 6 months. So you probably don't want me to do that.
No.
All right.
It's just saying you received that form. I guess initial or just sign, doesn't matter. Yes, some medications and a pill bottle and some cash. You guys don't like surprises.
The verdict is in. Mr. Johnson is heading to jail for 30 days without any probation. But here's the question. Was justice actually served? The law gave him 30 days, but was that too lenient for a loaded weapon? Comment below. Team Johnson or Team Prosecution? Who do you believe? If this mystery kept you guessing, hit that like button. Share this case with anyone who loves a good courtroom puzzle.